Hey guys, David here. Welcome to Digital Outlook, where you're gonna find the best community in all of crypto. In today's video, did Gary Gensler drop a major settlement hint? So guys, without further ado, why don't we get to it? Well, guys, I'll tell you what. Something happened in that testimony that Gensler gave yesterday that for a lot of folks went right under the radar. But it actually is a statement that comes from the questioning that Warren Davidson had with Gary Gensler over whether or not he thought XRP was a security. Just take a listen to this really short clip of what Gensler actually said.
Do you say XRP is a security?
We're in court and active discussions and litigation.
Guys, did you just see and hear what I heard and saw? You literally had Gensler there shaking like a leaf and stumbling over his words based on a case that has been active for over 2 years, something that he would have been able to speak to with absolute straightforward confidence. But guys, he was hesitating. Why? Because what was going on in his head? Did he just let it slip that they're in settlement negotiations with Ripple with respect to his active discussions? Well, guys, I want to show you a few things that may suggest just that. Take a look at this article right here. Gensler testimony gives XRP holders hope in the SEC case. And just take a look right down here. Amidst the congressional hearing, where whether cryptocurrencies should be classified as securities or commodities remains a prevalent topic of debate. XRP token holders are finding hope in the ongoing legal battle between the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission and Ripple. During the hearing on the SEC oversight, Gary Gensler stumbled when Patrick McHenry, chairman of the U.S. House Financial Services Committee, asked whether Ethereum should be considered a security or commodity, and we just saw what happened when Warren Davidson asked him about XRP. I mean, this guy could not speak with any confidence. What's going on? I mean, this is the chairman of the SEC, and he should have absolutely no problem to come straight out and say yes or no and have a detailed answer to provide without any kind of this shaky confidence going on. McHenry seized on the opportunity for a gotcha moment by mentioning XRP, further intensifying the debate and adding to the ongoing scrutiny of the regulatory classification of cryptocurrencies. Chair McHenry's probing question caught many in the crypto market off guard as he highlighted the conflicting views on this matter within regulatory institutions and among market participants. He cited examples of the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, a former SEC official, and a New York State attorney, all having differing opinions on classifying cryptocurrencies. And so, guys, how could you possibly come out there and give Ripple fair notice that they were selling an unregistered security when the entire market, including the SEC and the Commodity Futures Trade Commission, don't even know how to classify it themselves? I think, guys, we all can see where this is leading. I think Ripple has got a win in this case, hands down, and especially if you were to actually take these transcripts from these hearings and actually submit them to Judge Torres in the court, there is absolute total confusion and zero clarity on the entire matter. The lack of clarity in the regulatory landscape is being viewed as a potential ammunition for Ripple's argument in the SEC lawsuit. Contrary to the SEC's claims, Ripple has consistently maintained that XRP tokens were not sold as securities in recent years. The ongoing congressional discussions and potential actions against the SEC and Gensler, such as Congressman Warren Davidson's call for restructuring the SEC and removing Gensler from his position due to the alleged abuse of power and failure to protect investors, could potentially bolster Ripple's case. Regardless of Gensler hearing the outcome, the XRP community remains hopeful for a favorable outcome in the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit, with summary judgment expected to be imminent. The uncertain regulatory environment and conflicting views within regulatory institutions remains a focal point in the legal battle between Ripple and the SEC, with XRP token holders closely watching for any developments that may impact the case outcome. Now, guys, just take a look at this article. SEC versus Ripple. Gary Gensler refuses to call XRP a security in congressional hearing. Now, this absolutely blows my mind, considering the fact since December of 2020, well over 2 years, the SEC has been suing Ripple for that very thing. And guys, the suit is for $1.3 billion. Yep, $1 billion. So you would think that they'd have no issues telling before Congress, you better believe we think XRP is a security. But guys, there's a lot of ambiguity here, and we have to just wonder why. Are some things happening behind closed doors that we're not totally aware of just yet? I'm telling you, a lot of me inside seems to think that that very well may be the case. Now listen to this. Gensler did not give a yes or no answer to a question about whether XRP is a security. For over 2 years, the SEC has been involved in an intense legal battle with Ripple over allegations that the blockchain company offered and sold unregistered security in the form of XRP. The SEC has maintained that the leading blockchain company violated securities laws via its XRP sales and is asking the court to grant summary judgment in its favor. In a congressional hearing before the House Financial Services Committees yesterday, SEC Chair Gensler faced a series of questions discussing recent happenings in the cryptocurrency market. One of the most important questions thrown at the SEC was whether he believes XRP is a security. One of the essential questions thrown at the SEC boss was when Congressman Warren Davidson asked him whether he believed XRP was a security. Interestingly, the SEC chairman refused to provide a yes or no answer to the question. Instead, the SEC's boss said that the issue as to whether XRP is security is currently in court and there are active discussions on the matter. I'm telling you guys, that says absolute volumes. And I'll tell you what, I think that Gensler let that slip. I don't think he meant to say it like that. And if you watch again at the beginning of the clip, the way that he answered that question, I'm telling you, he was fumbling around for whatever reason. It took him by shock. And the fact is, I think something else is going on there. We are in court and there are active discussions. Well, who are the active discussions with? Because they filed all their filings, right? With the court. They're not actively discussing it with the court. The only people they can be having active discussion with, guys, is Ripple. And litigation on that matter, Gensler said. Notably, Gensler also refused to provide a yes/no answer as to whether Ethereum is a security. His response surprised many cryptocurrency enthusiasts, given that the SEC boss has maintained that XRP is a security. Gensler expressed the same view last year when he said Bitcoin is the only cryptocurrency he considers out of the SEC's jurisdiction. Guys, this is absolutely phenomenal. And it would be my estimation, and I would almost bet my last XRP that Judge Torres was watching those hearings. And I cannot imagine that she is not considering some of those same thoughts herself. Why is there no clarity? And if it is so clear, then why do you got the FTC, or the Commodities Futures and Trade Commission, along with the SEC fighting over jurisdiction, and they got all these other legal arguments? No one seems to know, and the chair of the SEC himself is not willing to actually take a stand on whether any of these things are securities. Well, I'll tell you what, guys, I don't think Judge Torres is going to let that sit on her shoulders, where she's going to make the call of whether it's security or not. She's going to flat out be able to see, hey, look, there's no way that Ripple got fair notice, because if they did, how on earth could the SEC not know what is a security and what isn't? Now, just take a look over here at this article with respect to the ecosystem of XRP and XRP Ledger and Ripple, and how it is literally expanding around the world. Stuart Alderati says Ripple expanding business in London, and he absolutely slams the SEC. Ripple's General Counsel reveals the company's expansion plans in London. Ripple's Stuart Alderati has highlighted the company's expansion plans in London. Alderati made this known in a tweet today while commenting on the SEC Chair Gary Gensler's recent congressional hearing. Alderati said he missed all the excitement on Gensler's hearing because he was in London with the Ripple team. Boy, that is a big tell right there. Per Alderati, he and other team members have been focusing on growing Ripple's business in the United Kingdom. However, Alderati did not share further insights into how Ripple intends to grow his business in London. Meanwhile, Alderati took the time out to slam the United States Securities and Exchange Commission for being inept. Can't tell you how inept the SEC looks from this side of the pond, said Alderati. Guys, the reality is this. What has Ripple been doing there over in London for a long, long time? Well, we know one thing's for sure. They've been a big part of the Digital Pound Foundation and helping to actually craft the central bank digital currency for Great Britain. And I'm telling you guys, what we're seeing is just a major, massive expansion. Now, does that look like a company who's shivering in its boots, thinking that it's going to actually get legislated out of existence or actually adjudicate out of existence in a case like this? Guys, I don't think so. I think they got some big plans ahead, and I truly believe that we're going to see some amazing things coming out of Ripple in the very near future. Now, listen to this article right here. What if Ripple wins the SEC legal brawl? Well, guys, just take a listen to this. Who will win the legal brawl between Ripple and the Securities and Exchange Commission? That is the biggest question in crypto right now. Now, the SEC sued Ripple in 2020, of course, accusing the company of failing to register roughly 1.4 billion worth of its XRP cryptocurrency for use in its network as securities. A decision on the case, which is now in the hands of a U.S. magistrate judge in New York, Judge Angelisa Torres, is imminent. Guys, they are expecting it any day now. The SEC case is based on the federal agency's claim that most cryptocurrencies are securities that must comply with strict financial regulations, including strict disclosure requirements similar to those followed by publicly traded companies. The crypto industry rejects that view. And why, guys? Because it doesn't even meet one prong of the Howey test. The SEC, which has waged an aggressive campaign against key players in the crypto industry, is widely expected to prevail. Now, guys, I'm telling you, I actually don't believe it for 1 second. And I'll tell you why. Because I don't think that the SEC has provided any legal clarity to the marketplace whatsoever. And I think Judge Angelisa Torres has the intellect and the sharpness to actually find that out. And we've literally heard the court rebuking the SEC, saying, hey, look, you guys want to actually abuse the law just to get your agenda through, and it's not so much that you care about what the law really says. And that's what's exactly going on. Look, the SEC is supposed to be out there protecting retail investors, but guys, who does it look like they're protecting? Well, it seems like they're protecting the establishment on Wall Street and in favor of them rather than the retail investors, doesn't it? That is exactly what's going on. And I think that a lot of folks, both politicians and the judiciary, can see right through this entire sham. Now, listen to this right here. The consensus has been that the consensus has been that a Ripple outset win would be a victory for crypto. If Ripple obtains an outright win, i.e., a ruling that the company did not engage in an unregistered securities offering, it would have a significant impact. Mark Fagel, a former SEC regional director for SEC and critic of the crypto industry, told the Examiner. A Ripple victory could mean that other issuers of cryptocurrency would be emboldened and other courts could rely on the ruling in other cases, he added. It would also ease pressure on crypto exchanges like Coinbase and Kraken, which offer digital assets that the SEC argues should be regulated as securities. Boy, I'll tell you what, the one thing I love that Warren Davidson brought out there is that Coinbase was IPO'd and it's actually traded on the NASDAQ, and it had to go through the SEC and disclose all of its stuff within that IPO. Now, if they're legitimately passed to issue an IPO, then how can the SEC come back now and say, oh, by the way, you're selling unregistered securities? Because that's what they're accusing them of. Well, guys, they knew that way back when. Why didn't they say it then? I'm telling you, something is truly afoot here. Well, guys, here's something else in this article that you might want to think of right down here. But it could also be a limited victory, and some crypto industry leaders actually see potential drawbacks to such an outcome. Why? Because I'll tell you what, guys, they could come out and Ripple could actually win in this case in the capacity of XRP not being a security for secondary sales for certain, and a settlement could come through on all this stuff, and that would leave every other crypto company out there as a potential target for the SEC, and that is something they don't want. What they want is they want us to lose in summary judgment so that Ripple will take it all the way to the Supreme Court and get a win in Supreme Court, which would be a win for the entire crypto industry. Just listen down here. A Ripple win in a New York federal court may have limited benefits for crypto, said Kathy Yoon, chief legal officer of MPCH, a crypto technology company. The fear is that a win at the district court level would limit the ruling to specific facts in Ripple and would have weaker precedential value, she told the Examiner. That's why there are those in the industry who are eyeing an even bigger victory, she said. What we discussed is that a good result is if Ripple loses in district court, appeals, and is able to take this to the Supreme Court. A win at the Supreme Court level would be better, Yoon said. A win now would be so narrow and would only apply to Ripple, it wouldn't help the greater space. Guys, this is absolutely, number one, it's obscene that they would think that, because we have seen when this whole thing started out, most of the other parts of this industry, like Ethereum and the Bitcoin maxis, they were literally poo-pooing Ripple and XRP to the nth degree. Now they see that, hey, nobody is safe, and what they want to put it on the back of Ripple to actually, forego a win at summary judgment so that they can take it to Supreme Court and bear all that burden for the whole entire crypto industry and win at Supreme Court to bring clarity to the whole marketplace. Well, guys, I'm not so sure that that's what's going to happen. And in fact, David Schwartz, not too long ago, had tweeted something out there that said, hey, something to the fact, we might have to consider what's best for us and not what's necessarily best for this entire digital asset space. And guys, I think that was top of mind, because listen to this. Ripple itself has stakeholders, don't they? There's guys that are holding their private equity. They got all these kind of responsibilities. Do you think that those stakeholders are looking forward to, hey, a loss in summary judgment? No, they want clarity. And if they can only get clarity for themselves and for XRP, then that's, I think, the way in which they'll go. I cannot see Ripple or all the stakeholders involved literally coming back saying, you know what, we'll take it on the chin for the whole crypto space, considering how much negative sentiment has been done dumped on Ripple and XRP for years, literally since 2013 until now. And you don't have to look too far, just look in the comments of these videos. People just eviscerating Ripple. Why on earth would they be motivated whatsoever to take a loss in summary judgment just so they can appeal it to the Supreme Court and take this whole burden on their own shoulders for the entire space? Guys, I just don't see that happening. But what I do see happening is I do see Ripple getting a win in this case, and I think it is going to be absolutely amazing. And you will watch XRP get the only legal clarity delivered by the court in this entire digital asset space. And in my estimation, it will literally cause it to absolutely explode. And guys, I'm telling you, you're going to want to be buckled in for when it does, because when the rocket ship takes off, I'm telling you, the thrust at which it's going to go is going to send it into the stratosphere. Guys, when this next bull run takes off, it is going to take the majority of people by shock. And one thing I can tell you with absolute certainty is you're going to want to have your plan in place when it does. And what our coaching program offers, that is where you and I can meet personally, one-on-one for 1 hour over Zoom. And during that time, I share with you our personal journey in that last bull run and what enabled Judy and I to experience some amazing financial success. I share with you the mistakes we made so that you don't have to fall into the same pitfalls we did. We take a look at your portfolio and make sure that it's balanced towards your goals, and we work together to develop your exit strategy. We can even get your assets off an exchange and onto a hardware wallet, along with delivering to you some amazing techniques that are really going to help you in this space. Now, the cost of that is $250, and if that's something that interests you, you write me right there at coaching@thedigitaloutlook.com and we'll get you all booked in. Well, guys, one way or another, this case is going to come to an end, and I think it's going to happen a whole lot faster than most of us are thinking. But I'll tell you what, I want to invite you to join the conversation and drop your comments right down there in the comment section. Open it up to the community and start a discussion. Now, many of you know I'm not a financial advisor, and this isn't financial advice, but if you found value in it, if you'd hit that like and subscribe, I'd appreciate it. And of course, don't forget about hitting the notification bell down there, because things in this space change just like that. And I like to get that information out to you as soon as possible. And on top of that, I don't want you missing out on any of our regularly released videos. Now, guys, we have been making some major progress towards reaching that subscriber goal. And if you're out there and you're watching these videos, but you haven't yet subscribed, would you do the channel a favor and join this community? We'd really love to have you on board. So, in the meantime, and in between time, stay safe, be blessed, and I'll catch you in the next one.